You're listening to It Takes a Village podcast with
Liberty, Megan,
and Brianna, where you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be you.
Welcome to It Takes a Village podcast. This is Megan. Before we get started today, I wanted to give you a quick update on our episode structure. We were going to do the years, so go from 3 to 1 year and then 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3, but we decided to not do it that way. We've just realized that while it's really easy for us to structure our episodes around that and think about our topics, every child is different, and we were kind of creating an imaginary expectation for you all that there are milestones that every child follows, and that's just not the case. All of our kids were different. Avery was very different from Minna and Avery are very different from Evan, and they all started doing these things at different times, and even teeth coming out were at completely different times. So we just didn't want to set that expectation for anyone, and we just felt like that didn't really fit. So expect something different and exciting.
More blended.
Yeah, we'll move through topics instead of years. We don't want to set milestones for you guys because of episode structure. So.
Yeah. Like your baby should be doing this between years 1 and 2 only.
Yeah. And none of us are experts, so we really shouldn't be doing that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's all about the experience. So we'll just walk through the experiences that we had and the common things that we went through together.
Yeah, we're very varied because our kids are also different and hilarious.
we were watching videos of them because I have such a hard time remembering details from like when she was a baby or 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Like what are the differentiating things about those times? And like, so I'll use just pictures to anchor myself in like what she was like. And
Going back to the videos is so sweet. Like while we were just setting everything up in the studio, we were playing videos of all of our babies as babies, and
we were like,
so sweet.
I guess we have to record the episode.
Yeah.
I also realized looking back at those videos, their personalities were always there.
I know.
Like Avery's personalities for dance shows, and then the sword fighting yesterday that they were doing. I'm like, wait, it was always there. This like weird goofiness is awesome.
Yeah.
Before we get started on shares, we should thank our sponsor, KWSB The Penguin. We are so excited to be here in their studio and using their equipment. We're so grateful. Thank you so much for your space and your support.
Yes.
Yeah, we look so professional, but it's all their stuff.
Big upgrade. So thank you.
It's wonderful.
Awesome.
Quick round the table updates.
Yep.
Personal
Let's do
updates?
some shares.
I have a big one.
Yeah, go for it.
I did something completely irrational.
Oh, fun.
They both know what it was.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it wasn't a new baby. It was a new puppy.
It was like, kind of.
Yay,
I know.
puppy.
Friday I decided to surprise Tyler with a puppy, and it's a puppy that he's always wanted with this just a very large breed, and they happen to have him at Gunnison Valley Animal Welfare League, and they're an amazing program, and so we're fostering this really cute 8-week-old Border Collie Turkish Boz mix, and Avery called her Riley, and to be clear, we're fostering to adopt, so she is going to be ours.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I got to meet her yesterday, and she's so cute.
She's such a little fluff ball.
Yeah.
Tyler had no idea. I've been trying to throw him off the scent forever. Well, forever meaning all week. Monday came,
forever.
And I had no idea by Friday I'd have a puppy. And then on Friday, I brought her home in the car, and I called him and said, I have groceries to unpack. And I set up my camera and surprised him with the puppy. And
I feel like it's really cute.
Yeah.
They're going to have a good bonding moment because they're just going to be big, walking around big people. Because Tyler's very tall.
I know.
I feel like that's why he's like, I need my big breed.
And we made the joke about Megan now being the smallest person in that family.
I know.
Because your daughter, let's be clear, is going to be very tall.
I know.
Most likely.
She absolutely loves Riley, and she ran out of the house. I told her, I was like, come meet your new puppy. And she goes, I have a new puppy.
I love
It's a girl. Voice. It's Riley. She was just so excited. But it's really funny how this puppy loves, it's almost like she recognizes that Avery is a child, like a little kid. And so she just runs around the house with Avery, following her everywhere, trying to play with her. It's just the cutest thing ever. So it's great.
So precious.
It's great. I can't believe I did it, but here we are. life just sometimes surprises you with things, and you just got to go with it. And it was great.
My share is when Megan and I worked together at the last nonprofit we were with. It fell apart quite quickly, and I started my own marketing company for local small businesses and artists. And that's been going really well for like 3 years, which is crazy.
Congratulations.
I know. But the exciting news is I'm on my hopefully last couple of clients, and then I'm wrapping it up and I'm closing the doors.
Like officially forever?
Yeah. And I'm so excited. And I had to, take stock of everything I was doing in life and thinking like, is this where I want my energies to be going? And when I left the art center, what I was really excited about was being able to focus on my own creative endeavors instead of promoting and helping others on theirs, which I loved, but that takes a lot of energy. And I finally wanted to like pour into myself creatively, and that kind of got put on pause because chaotic times. So now I'm finally at a place again where I'm free to do that. On to art.
That's
Yay. Congrats, Bree.
great example of life is full of surprises.
Yeah.
But good job, like, doing all that. Because I know for a while, like, you weren't in that position. So you made your reality happen. Like, the reality that you wanted for yourself.
Yep.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yay.
But it's also a huge decision. Like, I feel like we spend our whole lives chasing this feeling of, I have to be successful. I have to do more. Do more, do more, do more.
Yeah.
Show that I can do all these things. I can do this company and my job and the podcast, and I'm doing amazing. And and like, look how successful my life was. But then you're missing out on what matters.
And all of a sudden I realized my cortisol levels are like through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it was time to take stock.
Yeah. So I can't really remember what my update was last time. So I'll make this one quick because I may be repeating myself. I turned 40, and it kind of ties into the update that I want to give. One's a little bit like I'm going to rant about something for a second, and then the other one's exciting. So I'll start with the ranty negative one. I went, if you know me personally, you've probably had to repeat yourself to me at least a few times. Like, I have hearing issues, I have tinnitus, and I haven't gone to the audiologist in a long time. And I went back recently, this week actually, to get my ears checked. And I have hearing aids that I use intermittently, which if you know anything about tinnitus and using hearing aids and like the connection for improvement is like, that's not really how you do that to get the results you need from just like helping your brain fill in the gaps with what you're not hearing and stuff. Anyway, so I went in and got tested, and that whole process was really funny just because I forgot what it's like, because you just like sit in a booth and have like this little button. There's like multiple tests that they do, and you like click the button whenever you hear the beep in like whatever ear, and there's varying levels of pitch and volume involved. And then you have to like listen to sentences where they'll put background noise around the sentence, and then you have to repeat the sentence back, and it'll increasingly get louder so it can see like how your ears are parsing information in loud environments. It's interesting. And because of my linguistics background, I was like nerding out with the audiologist. I was like, I wonder how you guys choose what sentences that you say, because I struggle to reproduce one because I just like don't use that language. Like, it had to do with like a yacht and doing something to a boat, and I like don't do that. I'm not like super experienced with that. And I was like, oh, how do you guys decide that? I don't know. We were just nerding out from a science side, and ears and listening and everything is very cool and interesting to me. But so went through that process, and I had like way worse hearing loss than I expected. And like the hearing aids that I need are like so expensive. This is where my rant is going to come in. So expensive. And I know this because my grandma my whole life is like, you know, like hearing aids, grr, like her fist in the air. And I was just like, yeah, grandma, that must suck, you know, like not really thinking about what she's actually talking about until I'm of course faced with it myself. And they're like a car, like not 30,000 plus car, unless you're, I don't know, they might get that high.
Like
I think
your
they
first
can.
college car.
But it was like $7,900 to get the kind that like would fit for my situation. And there are other options. Like, don't get me wrong. Like there's, which I'm looking into because I cannot just pull $8,000 out of my butt. Wish I could, but not for that. And so I was just like, oh, insurance, boo. Like, how can we allow access to hearing to be something that you pay for it. And I know this is not news to anybody. Like, that's just how our system works in the US. And it's incredibly disappointing, and it's increasingly so when you run into your own personal issues with it. And so I'm just whining about how insurance basically is like, oh, your teeth, your eyes, and your hearing, not important.
Not necessary,
On a separate
right?
plan.
It's not, and that's
Like,
what's annoying is that that's not covered.
the fuck? Yeah.
It is a necessity
Yeah.
to live life.
And the way you put it, like, you have to pay
Yeah.
for the privilege of hearing.
Like,
Is
that's what it
just-
is. That's not what it is. Like, any other time you frame it in these other ways where it's like, you know, oh, well, I can afford this insurance. And it's like, no, like, people hearing stuff should be a right. Like, can you imagine, like, if it was so bad that, like, I was struggling, and it is not going to get better. So it could get to a point where if I was in a position where I couldn't afford it, like, I could not hear, that's not an option. Like, that's really crazy to me that you just don't get one of your senses because you don't happen to be in a socioeconomic bracket that's beneficial for the situation.
Yeah.
That's my rant. I don't have anything else to say except for if you have some hearing aids and you work for a hearing aid company and you have some free ones for me. Not that happens.
You want to sponsor a podcast?
Yeah, sponsor our podcast. Anyway, so that's my rant. And then the other, I'll make it shorter, part is I have this kind of insane trip coming up that I planned that's both driven by my beautiful friend Katrina getting married May 16th in Croatia, which is like, okay, I guess so I'm the maid of honor. And so I was like, oh yeah, I got to go. Like, I said, yes, I need to make my way to Croatia. And then I tacked on like a girls trip the week after in Greece, which is like, it took a lot of planning, probably like a year plus. So it took some time, but I'm doing it, and it's coming up. I leave the 11th of May, probably like way before this airs. But I'm so excited to have some time I asked my therapist for like journal prompts so I can have my beach time and like have it be a little bit more intentional of like thought process, because 40 is like entering a new phase of life, and I want to set myself up for success for sure, like mentally speaking. So that's my update. Anyway, okay, let's get into the topics of the day.
Topics of the day. So
Let's start
everyone, we
there.
just took a water break, and now we're going to talk about introducing water to your child.
Yeah, it reminded
other
us
topics.
Infomercial.
when the baby is brand new, they do not drink water.
They
I
do not
completely
drink
forgot
water.
that. They're just drinking breast milk
Yeah.
or formula.
Yeah.
And then,
At 6 months, I feel like that's when stuff really starts to shift.
yeah,
The first 3 months are tough. It is the fourth
it's a
trimester.
lot of survival.
And then the 3 to 6 months, it's kind of like, all right, I'm kind of figuring out my baby, and and it changes all the time. But
Yeah.
you start to trust that you're figuring out your baby. And then
Yes.
at 6 months, it's like, now feed it.
Big things start to happen. You have to start teaching the baby
I know.
a lot of things.
I remember being very nervous about feeding her. Only
Same.
because I felt like there was so much pressure about the quality of the food that I had to feed her. And like, don't buy baby food. Make it yourself.
Yeah.
Get the blenders and all that, which I didn't buy the blenders. But I did start with trying to make her food and realizing this is a lot of work.
Yeah. It's incredibly time consuming.
But then I kept thinking, I'm going to kill her. There's lead in baby food.
Yeah, but regardless of how, like, what food you're introducing, that I'm gonna kill them fear
All the time.
gets loud.
And choking.
And
Oh
the
my God.
choking
Don't even get
fear?
me started.
The
So you're
choking fear is
both
so scary.
moving from this kind of beautiful, very intimate. You might still be breastfeeding and still have that intimate like feeding time, but you're also starting to see what your baby enjoys, see what they can handle, what they like, and also what they might be allergic to. Was the scariest part for me.
Mm-hmm.
And just teaching them to eat off a spoon. Do you
Oh, I
remember?
know.
Like, what is this that you're
They do
doing?
this
And that
weird like lean in, like,
and that first time you get the spoon in their mouth, they're like kind of mad.
yeah.
They're like, "What is this?" And then they
Yeah.
realize there's food on it, and then they're like, "What is this?" And then
Uh-huh.
maybe super excited, or maybe
Or
really
upset.
disgusted.
That you decided to try peas
Avery
first?
was
Yeah, what
also-
did you start with? Did you start with vegetables, fruits?
carrot. I
I
will
think I
never
started
forget.
with peas
Yeah. hit
because
or
I
miss.
wanted I didn't want the first thing he ate
To be
to be
sweet.
sweet
I know.
and have him like expect all food to taste like that. I mean, in America, it kind of does, but
You just throw sugar and stuff.
yeah, in everything.
And a stick of butter.
In your bread. I remember, starting with vegetables, and I think I stuck to vegetables for quite a while.
I did too.
Yep. And then started with like strawberries. You love the hell out of strawberries.
But I just
Oh,
saw you
yeah.
getting so nervous that, like you said, that she was going to.
Be allergic because you have to give it to them in
There's the
small
allergies.
amounts.
Yeah. You have to introduce. Well, when I went in to Dr. V to talk about it too, she was saying, look, for a long time it was don't give any of these things to the baby in case they're allergic because until they're
I can't deal
one.
with it. Yeah.
But then it
I
was
think
like
that was how it was
like
for me.
you should start introducing this early because they're actually finding that does help with the allergies.
We had
Like
like a
the peanut
no
butter
list.
thing.
Like, don't start them with nuts until a year. That was definitely for me.
Yeah. Nuts. Yeah. But like peanut butter, I feel like, which is nuts, obviously. I don't remember when.
I would do the
truly
baby
don't remember when I
oatmeal with
introduced that.
her, and that's why I would hide the peanut butter in it and
Okay.
introduce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember a time when we were like testing all these like high likelihood of allergy type things. And then we're like, okay, nothing happened.
And so you guys tested high likelihood in the first year.
Probably like later in the first year, I
Okay.
feel like. Because I was always like more
That's an interesting shift.
cautious than not. And I had the same pressure of like, I don't want to feed her like delicious raspberries first and then give her peas and have her be like, what the
Which
hell is
honestly,
this?
that like now looking back, like what my kid consumes now, how very particular and careful I was about these things. Like
I know.
It didn't matter, did it?
I
doesn't
hope
really
it did.
matter.
I hope it set a good foundation. But like, you should see what my teenager eats now.
I know.
The amount of
Or my
ramen.
5-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was so worried about her not wanting these things. She's definitely more varied than I even was. And I turned out okay.
Yeah.
I was a very picky eater.
And you
I
now
turned
enjoy
out
very
okay.
healthy whole foods. Yeah, it felt like a lot of caring that mattered the most.
Yeah.
The order you do it, the things that you pick. And like for things like choking and allergies, it does matter the order and what you pick.
Right.
But in like setting them up for successful eating patterns, I'm not so sure it holds as much weight as you feel like it does.
Yeah. I
when
think
you're
there's
in it.
no super firm causal information. Like we can't say like all this correlates in some way maybe and like you might know like okay, my kid like I think this helped them. And I think that's the extent that I don't think we need to go further than that into like oh well if you don't do this first then this happens. It's like you just don't know and
Or if you feed them a
different.
raspberry first, it's
It's
going to be okay.
nuanced.
They could still be a person who loves peas.
Exactly. Like you're not like imprinting on them their preferences the moment you feed them something.
Yeah.
And I remember the two-sided debate of that one was like baby-led weaning versus just pureed food, which is like you give them food that's in chunks or chunked up in some way or like large pieces of things that they can chew on and gnaw on as like a way to introduce it. And that's baby-led versus like putting a spoon in their mouth first. And so I did mostly that, but I did both. Like, and I think that was also weird because I remember just everyone being like, no, don't do it that way or they'll never blah, blah, blah. Like anytime you hear that kind of like they'll never do this if you do that, like that's probably not true. So
There's a lot of pressure around that
Yeah.
same stigma of like, oh, baby-led weaning is better than the other way. And
less
so
likelihood
then,
of choking, like all
you
these
feel
crazy
like,
stats. I was like, where are you
so
getting
then
this?
you feel like a terrible mom if you don't do it that way. All of us turned out okay.
Yeah.
That's what
We
I
can
keep going
eat.
back to because
The
I'm like,
further away you get from this like pressure cooker first couple of years, and you realize like parenting is a long game. It's a whole attitude of how you're approaching it. It's that not just when they're 6 months old and eating their first food, but when they're 8 and the first snack choice that they have is a fruit or a vegetable. Like these are choices you're going to be making with them and for them for a very long time. And it's patterns you can set up over a long time. And so that extreme pressure that if you take this step wrong or you introduce this first, you've messed everything up. It's so unnecessary. There's time to build patterns into your parenting and into your kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're introducing a whole new world to their brain and you can see it happening. And while we were watching videos, I found videos of me feeding her hot dog and her little dances whenever I would feed her foods that she liked. Like, it's just setting their little personalities start coming out. It's the cutest thing. But yeah.
Like
so,
a true
the true
dance.
wiggles, I know. But the choking thing and the chewing thing is really weird because I was so afraid of her choking, but she also didn't get teeth. I mean, they always get the front teeth first anyway, and then the molars take forever. But Avery didn't get her first tooth until after 12 months.
See,
So it
Evan
was a
got his
whole
teeth-
year of gummy eating.
Evan
you
got
know?
his teeth so early. So early. So, like, by food, he was ready. They were poking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mina got hers at 4 months. Like her first 2
Early.
bottom ones, and then 2 probably by
Yeah.
6 months she
Oh, I
had the 2. So she
remember.
was just like,
I know.
She's so cute. I
Which
remember.
breastfeeding fun.
oh yeah, I love that age. Yeah. So, and then you had talked about how Avery's teeth all came in at the same time.
So because she started so late at 12 months.
I can't
and I remember
imagine.
she was eating and like her gum popped open and I could see the tooth finally coming through. And it just was, she was just screaming so hard and there was nothing we could do about it.
See, that's
It
the
just,
tough
like,
part about it is like
yeah.
it's the first time they've been introduced to pain, or one of. We were mentioning before that there was like vaccines, shots. We won't get into the politics of it, but these few times in their first couple of months or year where they have pain for the first time and you have to teach them what to do with it and how to deal. And they look to you because you are their whole world, their caretaker, with this terrible look. Like, what was that? Can you help? And you have to, decide which way you go with the teething pain. Do you do oral painkillers on their gums? Do you let them play with a Sophie? How are you going to choose to kind of walk your baby through their first pain? And it hurts you too.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of Avery's teeth came super fast
I
because
can't
she was so
imagine.
late. And then we did do the Tylenol because it would help us sleep.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that
because she
was-
could be comfortable and sleep because then she's tired
Yeah.
and feeling the pain. And then she would get diaper rash every time a tooth came. So then that would get worse if she wasn't sleeping because their bodies aren't functioning right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I definitely did the gummy ointment. I remember doing that.
I remember doing the
Yeah.
ointment too. I remember there's an ointment I would
It
put.
helped so much.
I did the amber necklace. I'm truly unsure
We
if that made a difference.
didn't do the amber necklace. I know someone who did. But I had a necklace that was on a magnet. So if she would pull it, would break off. But it was a teething necklace. So whenever she was with me, she could chew on it and stuff.
Oh,
'Cause
for
they wanna-
you that you wore?
that I would wear. Because they want to chew everything all the time.
And they will chew your real necklace.
They will
And they
chew
will
your
chew
necklace. Those
and your
teething
hair
necklaces.
and all
Oh
the
my God,
things.
yeah.
Yeah. And then she had a Sophie. She loved her Sophie. We had the
Yeah.
little one, the mini Sophie, and then we had a big Sophie. And then I did a lot of the freezing ice packs.
Yeah.
That you could
What's a
put.
Sophie for people who don't know what it is?
It's this French. Everyone in Europe gets one when they have a baby, but it's this French
for you.
company. I
Just
know,
kidding.
I know. It sounds so uppity,
No,
but
no, that's great.
it's really like it's just this Sophie la giraffe. It's like the little giraffe that you get for your baby.
It's effective because
And
their legs
it's-
are so long, so the baby can and
It's-
it moves. It's like
It's soft. It has a little bit of a squeak to it, and she's probably about I don't know, like this. I don't know how big this is, but if anybody's watching, you
A
can
foot?
look.
12 inches maybe?
But she's made out of naturally occurring rubber, like rubber trees, and so it has a slight vanilla smell to it too, which is natural. It's not an additive. It's all just natural, and it breaks down. Like we still have her Sophie stored. There is a possibility someday it might not exist anymore because the rubber is just naturally breaking down as it should, but it's not harmful to babies because it's not full of plastic and additives and stuff,
and the
which is
way
really cool.
the giraffe is shaped, it just gets all of
It
the
gets
nooks
the
and
back
crannies.
teeth.
It's all
of
the
Right.
things,
Yeah.
and it smells very soothing. Like
Yeah.
she didn't even barely ever chew it. It was very soothing to
Yeah,
have
I
her
have to
have
say,
it.
the Sophie was a huge success.
Yeah.
Nice.
I could take a picture of her. I still have hers.
Yeah.
And
I could
post
show
it.
you the Sophie.
Anybody wants to know. They are a little more expensive. They're definitely a lot more expensive in this country because there's like import fees, but very great baby shower gift for the grandparents to get you.
Yeah,
if
so worth
you want
it.
one.
Yeah, we used like one of those. We used one of those Frida insert. I think you had one too.
I had one too.
Yeah.
They were the best. The Frida inserts with
Take
each
it
side
out,
had
put
a
it
different
in.
shape.
Yeah.
So you could freeze them, and then there was one that was like a V shape, so you could get the molars.
Oh,
One that was just like a
nice.
rainbow shape for more of the front, like all different shapes and stuff.
Yeah.
It was great.
That worked well for us. And then Minna just like I could tell when she was about to get a tooth because she would just like suck on. She'd just be drooling crazy and like suck on any fabric. And like her own shirt would be all disgusting at the top, like like it
Evan
would start
would
to
get
turn
his
brown and
collar.
weird. Yeah, and so she's just always like chewed on fabric type things. She really likes that. So like the washcloth thing like worked
So
for her.
freezing
Freeze
the
a
washcloth.
Yeah, it's just like basic stuff.
That
I
one
don't
is
know.
solid.
And she didn't go through teething all at once like Avery, so I don't know that her pain levels were the same. Like I don't know if that's how they distribute. I don't know. Like if it's
Evans
distributed, it's better.
It wasn't too bad until it was molars. Like,
Yeah.
He didn't get grumpy or spike a fever until it
The
hit.
canines are super painful too.
The canines are super painful too. But same for me. It rolled out so slowly.
Yeah. Where you're like, I think they're fine.
Yeah, until they hit a tooth where they're really not fine.
And then they're not sleeping. And that's mainly the reason why I was like, Tylenol for you.
Yes.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Please.
And they sometimes get a mild fever. Like they get all the things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
And they get a little grouchier. Even to this day, like Avery had a really grouchy day recently, maybe a month ago, like out of her normal personality. And she had had plenty of sleep and plenty of food. And I was like, Megan, is she getting a molar?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
She had a dentist appointment after that, and they said no, there's just no way. But then I had another dentist tell me that sometimes you could see them because they do this. Teeth come up and down, up and down. They're working their way out. And I swear to God, I saw a little white back there, but then it was gone. And so it's just, this discomfort. She is obsessed, and this is for a way later episode. But now, because her friends are starting to lose their teeth and get their adult teeth in,
She wants her.
she's convinced that her teeth are loose, and they are not. And I'm very curious to see how the later teething affects her adult teeth coming in. Like, does she start losing teeth closer to 6 than in her 5 to 6 years? Like, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
I can't even believe
It's
how
a
close
science
that is. What?
experiment.
That's crazy.
I know. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah. So the pain thing where, you have to teach them all these things that you're like, well, I don't have to think about doing that. Like it's rote memory for you. Like
Exactly.
eating.
Like eating, like being in pain.
Sitting
like,
up.
Yep, sitting up.
Like, oh, they can't do that.
Yeah,
obviously.
All of a sudden you reach these moments in life where obviously you don't remember being taught them. You were a baby. But you know how to bring a spoon to your mouth. You know what a spoon is. You understand the movement you need in a day. But when all of a sudden you're faced with this little human being that you've, kept alive for 3 months, and they start hitting these milestones, you're like, oh, wow, I'm the one that has to teach. I'm the teacher of all of these.
Or modeling is a major one where they're just like, they're going to do what you're going to do. So you got to, keep that in kind of check. I don't know, be yourself, but also know your kids are going to copy you in every way. But they'll model like food stuff. They'll get excited because they know it's communal and like you like to sit together. Yeah. That was also something weird not weird, but like we aren't a really like sit around the table and eat type family. And so Minna, anytime she needs to like sit and eat, like she's just like a grazer. She's like stands and eat. I remember early on she would just like stand at the table and eat or like walk around with something and come back to it. And she would eat way more that way than like me sitting her down and saying like,
oh, interesting.
You need to stay here. And I wouldn't say that to her at such a young age, obviously.
Yeah.
You must stay in this seat until, and we did have like a high chair and stuff and it was fine. But yeah, it's just like, just pay attention to like how they're eating more, or if you're flexible with that, or if you can be, just whatever they need. So there's a little bit of like, yes, I need to teach them. And then also I need to learn from them, like what they're going to
so much
respond to instead of trying to force them. Because that was my issue, is like, I want to force her into this box that's really easy to control. And a lot of the time she would fit outside of it. And I would just have to slowly let go of that box
yeah,
and let her
especially
lead the
if
way.
that box doesn't make sense for your kid.
Yeah.
We're a sit at the table family.
Yeah.
That's just how we've always done it. But
We're hybrid.
yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I feel like when you get to the teen years, it would be very hybrid for sure.
It's yes. He's just not always.
And then sometimes stuff
there,
get like yesterday we had baby's dance recital. Obviously, we're not gonna do sit down dinner.
Yeah.
It's a get that shit to go day.
Yeah, when their life starts
like
to get
you know.
really packed. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's flexibility there for
Yeah, of
sure. But when
course.
we can, we try. But then it's really fun for her. Like if we go to Minna's, when we would do dinner, like little like movie nights and a dinner and stuff, it's fun for her because she gets to sit at a small table with Minna and then they're running around and
Yeah.
she thinks it's like more of a snack and it's kind of fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
It changes things up.
Minna likes sitting at the table too now. Like now that she's grown up, she's like, oh, that's a special thing that we can do. Or like, I know at Avery's house, I sit at the table. Totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're
that
all
ebbs and
different.
flows.
Both ways.
I mean, when
Yeah.
Ava's at grandma's, they do candlelight lunches. Sometimes she wants the candles
Aw.
lit. It's like, oh my
I love
God,
that.
what is happening
Fancy
here?
baby dinner.
That's
Which is very Jenny's house, right?
yes.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
know. But going back to that, teaching them how to sit and like the mobility and
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
I just remember even the crawling and like you were mentioning tummy time earlier.
I
That's
truly
huge.
didn't realize there was that much teaching involved in their mobility.
You're like, they'll just
They
do
just
something
start
and then
moving.
I'll change my
they
thing.
just start moving the things they need to. There's so much involved in making sure they're doing enough tummy time, that they're moving the correct way, knowing what their developmental stage is and what makes sense within their capability. I was really out of the loop on most of that. And I had to go back to work so early, and my husband took over the home childcare, everything, at 3 months. So my husband was the primary caretaker and I was the primary worker. And Evan really hated tummy time. And we didn't know much of the science or importance around it. And I suppose just didn't prioritize it the way that we should have. Years later, around, I want to say like 7 or 8, we noticed him having trouble with reflexes. So his reflexes would go when they didn't need to or not go when they should. And we took him to an occupational therapist who told us that this can be a result of a lack of tummy time or strength building that they need to develop their reflexes. So there is so much happening in there. And really, knowledge is power in their mobility, in what they're capable of, and what the milestones should be. So it's really important to A, get them working on their mobility, and B, be aware of those things. And if there are concerns, be able to talk to your doctor about it pretty early, you know?
There are resources out there you can look up with those milestones, and your doctor should talk to you about it. I remember she would mention it every time appointment. Have you been doing this much? This is roughly how much a day you need of tummy time, etc. I remember just putting her, like, you know, when you get her home and you're just feeling, oh my God, what do I do with this thing now?
Yeah.
And really the first thing we did was she spent a lot of time in the swing and stuff, but I mean, I was home, so I just put her play mat down, you know, those mats with the arches where the things are hanging, and like stimulate them that way, and then roll them over.
Yep.
Roll them over once in a while and let them do that, and then put them back, and then you just kind of, that's what you do. And then I remember her does that learning how to roll over too, right? Back to front and then front to back, and then that would affect her sleeping. So now all of a sudden the swaddle wasn't appropriate anymore because she needed her arms out to be able to roll herself back over. And then you have a lot of fears that come with that, but that's a whole other thing. But those are, it's like these things set the next thing in motion.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I do think in their development and mine and the whole I have to teach them this kind of feeling, I don't think I realized that it was going to be so. I think it was the first instance of me trying to teach my kid something he didn't want to learn, which now teenagehood is like every day. But
Yeah.
At the very beginning, you're trying to like tell them, no, this is good for you. And they may scream, cry, hate it. And you're trying to teach them what's going to be best for their mobility. And it's a tough battle. It really is, doing something your kid really, really doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
And still continuing with a consistency because it is for their good.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot to find
Nobody
yourself
teaches
in.
you that has to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of hear it. You kind of hear it when you're leaving the hospital, but you like kind of hear everything. Like you kind of, everything's a dream.
It's an overload. It's a bit of an overload.
Where you're like, okay, I got to do what? And I got to sign this paper. And then what?
Are you sure
Can
I
we
can
do
take
a
it?
bath
A
here?
birth
Because I'm
certificate?
afraid. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's important too to say like there's wide ranges for all of the milestones, that if you're on the end of either, that doesn't mean it's like there's immediately an issue. It's like
No.
you just talk through what your situation is and then what the right next steps would be. So if you're like on the farther end of like, oh my gosh, my baby's not pulling themselves up to stand, or like don't put it on yourself that you've done something wrong, because and that's the result. Like it's just be informed about like the general ranges and like what that might mean and things to look out for, and just hopefully you have access to your pediatrician or doctor to talk through all of it. But I know that's getting harder too. So,
But I
And
think
your
on all
child-
of those points, like where you're, where with milestones specifically, and you trying to reach them, there's such a tight balance between the knowledge that you have and how you sense you and your child are doing. Like,
your intuition matters.
yeah, Avery wasn't walking for a while, right?
18 months.
But you're sure nothing's wrong with your baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like even if they've missed the window, it's so important. And you will be developing this entire first year, that you're listening to how you feel and who your baby is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it feels problematic or not. Like I could probably tell you, yeah, around year 1, his like neck strength felt problematic, and I could have gotten more help at that point. But around year 1, when Avery wasn't walking, pretty much all of us, but you especially, were like, I know she's okay. I know she's going to hit this.
I mean, she was walking on her knees. She was
Yeah.
weirdo. It was
She just,
just,
it was like the
didn't
Bluey
want-
episode.
she just didn't want
when
to
she's
do it. I
scooting.
know. And that's the thing,
Baby
like the
race.
crawling, she nailed the crawling.
Yeah.
She wasn't a butt scooter or anything, which is also completely normal.
Yeah.
Every baby's different.
Rolling around.
Right? It's
Yep.
that milestone is more of like their awareness of, I want to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And how do I get there? And they will find a way.
Yep.
They will
Yeah.
roll if they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also development that's important. But I know
Just keep a finger
the
on that pulse.
yeah, the walking thing. One that was really funny to me, and this is what's great about having a friend that's an occupational therapist. Libby does that for a living, and so she came to visit, and she's like, "Oh, she could start sitting up now. Like you can start teaching her that." And I'm thinking, "Oh, duh!" Like I didn't even think
God
about
bless
it.
having
Like,
women like that in our lives.
and yeah, I know, and like yeah, that is something that she needs to learn, that it's okay that she can sit, and it starts building that core strength, right?
Yeah.
And one big thing that really helped us get that going is it takes time was a bumbo seat was awesome, because I just
I
put
agree.
her in it, and then she's like playing with things a new way, and it was almost like it clicked for her where she was thinking, oh, this is way more fun. Look at all these like toys I can play with. And then from the bumbo seat she started sitting pretty fast after
And I feel
that.
like that it supports them so well. The point it comes up to, it gives them enough strength to, I think, really
she
enjoy it.
built the strength, and then she started sitting on her own, and
Yeah.
we would like work on sitting her too, right? But it was great. The bumbo seat was awesome.
But I don't think at any point, I mean, there were a few points I remember where you were like, oh, she's past 12 months and she isn't walking. And we had a lot of talks about like, do you actually think something is wrong? Do we think maybe she just doesn't want to be picked up?
Oh, she just was stubborn.
Yeah, and you can, there's just a sense within you, this is or isn't okay for my baby. And sometimes even a doctor could be saying otherwise. Take what doctors have to say, listen to it, but still very much listen to yourself.
Don't let that take the place of your own
Yeah.
voice.
You've
Yeah.
had almost a year together with your baby. You know that baby, and you know how you're parenting and what your relationship is, and you're listening to the doctor's advice.
Yeah.
And this is where we talked about this last
Hybrid.
episode. It's so important to filter where you're getting your information from, who you're letting decide which milestones should be met or there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I really think, especially around this time, it should come down to you, that baby, and the doctor.
Yeah, there's a lot of other voices. And if that's helpful to you for other reasons, that's cool. But just make sure you understand where the source is coming from. There's a lot of stuff out there that
and
can
make
be
sure, like, if you're finding help in
skewed.
those discussions elsewhere, that you're finding community, that it's not making you feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember when Minna start standing, and they just have that weird like super intense squat, and then they're like slowly rising, and they're super wide legged and just looking around like, wait, this is new. It's the funnest
I like the
steps where they wobble.
the front
my
to
God.
back
I
wobble.
I know, right? But most of the time, it's them realizing there's something I want.
Mm-hmm.
There's something I want to go do.
Yeah.
You know, Avery, just her thing was, there's something I want and I want to go do, and it's easier for me to go on my knees. So I'm going to just go get it.
Or everyone just take me there.
I know.
You're not doing anything, right?
Yeah, that was the thing. But let me tell you, if your kid isn't walking until 18 months, totally fine. Avery's like wonderful now and doing just fine. And she's a diva on the dance stage, and she's golfing great, and she's doing fine.
Oh my gosh. So we were talking about pain a little bit earlier with the teething, but this wobbly phase and the amount of times that they get hurt at this age, like this age being like roughly around 1 year old or like 1.5 to 2. I feel like that whole time frame is just like you're.
They
like you're
haven't
catching them.
learned how to fall yet.
No, oh my
No.
God. And their head is so heavy compared to their body. And so a lot of it's just like whoop, boop, like rolled down backwards off of this thing. Like Minna rolled off the bed, the couch. Like I was like worried because if you take them to the emergency room enough times, like
It's gonna be a file on
it
you.
was only twice, but like I felt like it was close together. She totally biffed it on the cement and had the biggest knot on her forehead, and then went in, and I was like just concerned about it because I didn't know. It was just such a big fall, and I didn't know what to care about. Like I didn't know if I should just wait and see, and like what are the updated rules about concussions and throwing up and not. Like that's changed also. Look that up. Concussions, like they can sleep. In fact, they should. I think. Look it up. I don't know.
Okay.
If it's changed, then somebody let me know. But yeah, so anyway, I took her in and I was just like, oh, is this okay? And then she's like, no, well, they're just really thick up there. You know, like they've got a lot of bone right there. It's going to be okay unless you see like bleeding of any kind or like anything strange. And there's just one really bad one where she was running because she was just learning to run. And she just completely, it was at a friend's birthday party, just so hard, like face planted into the dirt and rolled over. Like that's how hard she hit. And it was just so bad. And she had scratched all of her face, and she looked, it just was so awful. Like my nervous system was completely going haywire.
Yeah, of course.
Like I saw it, and you're like trying to stay calm because you're like you're okay.
I remember you also had a really kind of awesome moment at that moment.
I did.
Where there were a lot of people coming in trying to help, and it was very like, I got it, everyone out. Like, I know what this situation needs. Everyone stop touching, suggesting.
Yeah, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I like needed space to like just make sure I could look at her and
It
see
worked, yeah.
like where the dirt had gone and if there's anything like really seriously wrong because there's blood obviously. And I have a picture of her in the bathtub afterwards. We just went straight home and like took a bath.
I remember you
sent
sending me that picture.
It looks so awful.
She looks so sad.
That feeling doesn't really go away of them not wanting to get hurt, right? Like it's instinct, and there are times now like Avery's learning how to ride her bike, or she's going downhill. We're just talking about the kids going downhill on their bikes, and you get so afraid, you want to stop them, but like now we're in this phase of we got to let them learn how to fail and fall and learn, and it's so hard as a parent.
So hard
to just let it happen to some extent, right? I mean, I'm not obviously gonna be like, there's a cliff there, like let them run.
obviously.
No, but it's like the little things that you can't control. Sometimes you're better off just being like letting go and letting it happen.
They're better learning the lesson.
It's
than
so scary.
being protected.
Yeah. But they get mobile, and every day they're getting inching closer and closer to independence. And this is why all of this happens.
Yeah.
And we have to learn how to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And nobody teaches you that.
No?
So stay tuned for the next episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in our next episode, where the emotional impact of everything you just went through. We talked a lot today about the physical, but talk about how we felt during all of
Your
that.
kids are growing and they're becoming their own person.
Yeah. And then the toddler years are such a crazy developmental time for their emotional awareness and social awareness. And like school has been awesome with that. So we'll talk about that too.
It is great.
But that part for me has been the hardest, where it's like, okay, I didn't learn any of these skills and I have some of them, but I got to relearn this. Like, I need to learn what this framing actually is. And it honestly, everything that I'm learning now, like, has helped me personally.
Agreed.
In my own growth.
And like I said, we were taught these things, but we were babies. We don't recall being taught.
Yeah.
We don't know how to do the teaching. All of a sudden, you're just, there you are, in charge of making a human be a human.
I know. It's wild. You're doing a great job, everybody.
Everybody doing good.
If your child has a black eye, doesn't have a black eye,
It's okay.
you're still doing a good job.
Well, we'll see you all soon again, or you'll hear us
Yeah.
all soon again.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram,
Socials.
ITA pod.
ITA underscore village underscore pod.
It's a long one.
It is.
ITA underscore village underscore pod. Shoot us an email if you have stories to share. So please share your feedback or your stories with us. I'm sure a lot of you are going through what we just talked about. There is a Google form under our link tree on our Instagram. So make sure to follow us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a wrap, everyone. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you.
Bye. Thank you.